Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the ASK Automotive Q2 and H1 FY’25 post-conference call hosted by Adfactors PR. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference call is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Snighter Albuquerque. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Siddhant. A very good evening to everyone, and welcome to the Q2 and H1 FY’25 earnings call of ASK Automotive Ltd. From the senior management, we have with us Mr. Kuldeep Singh Rathi, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Prashant Rathi, Whole-Time Director, Mr. Aman Rathi, Whole-Time Director, Mr. Naresh Kumar, Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Sanjeev Arora, Vice President, Financial Strategy and Investor Relations. Before we begin the earnings call, I would like to mention that some of the statements made during today's call may be forward-looking in nature, and hence it may involve risks and uncertainties, including those related to the future financials and operating performance of the company. Please bear with us if there is a call drop during the course of the conference call. We would ensure the call is reconnected at the earliest. I would now like to hand over the call to Mr. Kuldeep Singh Rathi for his opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset on this happy occasion, I and the whole ASK team would like to wish you all a very, very happy and prosperous Diwali. May this festival bring abundance of success, good health, wealth, joy and happiness in your life. I am elated to be with you today evening to update you on our business performance for the second quarter and half year ended September 30, 2024. I would like to begin by giving some insights on the industry update, followed by details of our business performance. As per CM report, the automobile sector in terms of vehicle production across all segments grew at around 9% in Q2 FY’25 against the same period last year. Amongst all segments, two-wheeler segments stood out and witnessed a considerable growth of 12.5% in Q2 FY’25 and 15.8% in H1 FY’25 on year-on-year basis. The two-wheeler industry registered robust vehicle production volume of 6.3 million in Q2 FY’25 against 5.6 million in the same period last year. The two-wheeler vehicle production in H1 financial year 25 was at 12.2 million against 10.4 million in the same period last year. The strong momentum in two-wheeler sector continued in Q2 FY’25 with positive market sentiments for upcoming festival season and pent-up demand from the rural and urban sector with end of good monsoon across India. I am now moving on to ASK business performance. I am delighted to share with you that we had a strong finish to the second quarter and first half of the year in both revenue and profitability. This is the fourth consecutive quarter of robust performance by us since listing of the company last year. During quarter 2 financial year 25, we delivered strong performance in business and recorded significant growth of 22% in revenue, 50% in EBITDA and 63% in PAT on year-on-year basis. This is the highest ever absolute revenue and EBITDA earned by us in any quarter in past. We have also continued to outperform the two-wheeler industry vehicle production growth in Q2 financial year 25. Further, I am glad that our EBITDA margins have crossed 12% level. We have delivered EBITDA margins of 12.2% in Q2 FY'25, which is 230 basis points higher than Q2 FY'24 and 20 basis points higher than Q1 FY'25. As a result of strong performance in Q2 FY'25, our revenue has grown by 26%, EBITDA by 54%, and PAT by 63% in H1 FY'25 on year-on-year basis. Our EBITDA margins stood at 12.1% in H1 financial year 25, with an improvement of 220 basis points on year-on-year basis. These strong results reflect the result of our continued focus on expanding value-added businesses, improving utilization of production capacities, and bringing cost efficiencies. Our aim is to sustain this level of EBITDA margins and improve gradually in the subsequent quarters, depending upon the growth of the two-wheeler industry in H2 FY'25. With strong performance on profitability, our earnings per share in first half FY'25 has increased to rupees 6.3 per share against rupees 3.86 per share in the same period last year. Let me now go into further details of our performance on both revenue and margin sides. We have delivered robust performance in Q2 FY'25 and recorded consolidated total income of rupees 976 crores, which is 22% higher on year-on-year basis. As a result, the consolidated total income for H1 FY'25 stood at rupees 1,841 crores, hosting 26% year-on-year growth. All the three product segments continue to perform well and delivered robust revenue growth in Q2 FY'25. We have sustained market leadership position in the advanced braking system business with 18% year-on-year growth. The aluminium lightweighting precision solutions, our largest business segment with 45% share of revenue, led the growth momentum and delivered 27% year-on-year growth. And safety control cables also grew by a healthy 18% on year-on-year basis. We have recorded strong growth in our margins and profitability. Our Q2 financial year 25 EBITDA stood at rupees 119 crore, recording 50% year-on-year growth, and H1 FY'25 at rupees 222 crore, posting 55% year-on-year growth. We have delivered PAT of rupees 67 crore with 63% year-on-year growth in Q2 FY'25 and rupees 124 crore in H1 FY'25, with 53% growth on year-on-year basis. Now, let me talk briefly about status of expansion plans of our production capacities. Firstly, our mega manufacturing facility at Karoli is expanding fast. The increased economies of scale and operational efficiencies are benefiting us in delivering better results. We have started to generate positive EBITDA margins from this plant now. Secondly, construction work for our upcoming new plant at Bengaluru, third plant in South India, is progressing as per schedule and is expected to operationalize from Q4 FY'25. Thirdly, commissioning of work of our upcoming solar power plant of 9.9 megawatts in Sirsa, Haryana for captive consumption is nearing completion. As we go forward, we are hopeful of maintaining trend of outperforming the industry growth in the subsequent quarter of FY'25. We anticipate the growth momentum in two-wheeler sector to continue for the remaining part of the year with prevailing positive market sentiments on arrival of upcoming festive season. At last, our endeavor and commitment is to always keep contributing towards the value creation for our stakeholders and investors. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I open the floor for question and answer.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question is from the line of Kunal Ramani from Kitara Capital. Please go ahead.
Hey sir, congratulations for record numbers. I just wanted to know when will the alloy wheels business will start and how much revenue and margins do we expect from the business?
Well, happy to share that alloy wheel, there is a very steady progress in the alloy wheel business, and our Bangalore plant will get commissioned in the quarter 4. So you can expect after due testing the business to start in the next financial year.
So what is the capacity and how much revenue do we expect?
We can't comment at the moment about the revenues. It will all depend on how the tests perform on the Indian roads.
And the capacity number of wheels?
Capacity is not an issue because we are investing 200 crores and the machines are the high pressure die casting, which are the common machines.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Before we take our next question, we would like to remind participants that you may press star and one to ask a question. Our next question is from the line of Navin Kumar Dubey from Narnolia Financial Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations, sir, on your strong set of numbers despite the industry is witnessing some kind of weak scenario. My first question is related to industry itself. How do you see the two-wheeler industry panning out going forward? As we see that industry has already made, I think, surpassed the peak of 2018. So how do you see the numbers going forward?
Okay, two-wheelers. And the voice was not very clear, but what we understood, you are asking about the performance of the two-wheeler industry. Well, as we rightly heard, the peak was 18-19. The industry, even till last year, did not come up to that number. But this year, we are seeing a good growth in the two-wheeler industry. We are hopeful that it will touch or just cross that number. It will be very near to that number.
Okay. So actually, I was referring by adding the electric vehicle numbers also, sir. If we add both, the industry has surpassed, I think.
Yeah. This year, if we add, that's a very small number, electric vehicle number, but I think we'll be around that or we'll surpass a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. And another question is, sir, we see the export is still a very small part of our revenue as of now. How do you see the traction in the export markets? Because export, basically, if we see Europe and US, the news is not very good from that side. So how is the response on the export front, sir?
Yes, you are right. The export front, the Europe business is seeing some problems in terms of demand. And one of our major customers is in the process of correcting their huge inventories in the pipeline. So we are growing, but it's a very, very nominal growth that we are up to, though the Q2 we have performed much better than the Q1. And further also they are saying that now they'll start further. But yes, I will confess Europe is still in demand. But the good part is next year we have a substantial big order of more than 75 crore, which is additional to the existing business, and that's likely to start by middle of January. So that will see us and give us a quantum jump in the next financial year.
Okay. Wow. That's great to hear that from the export front. Still, the industry is not doing good, and still you are getting the orders there. Yeah. And one more thing related to that Prasle JV, we are seeing that numbers are not improving, I think, in the PL front. So anything on there, sir? Any update on that side?
So the update is that commercial vehicle sector, as you know, is not doing that well. The numbers have not been good there. But still, good part is that our share of business is continuously increasing in Tata's and Eicher Volvo. And as I said just now, Europe is little bit little bit slack in demand. So there also little bit export demand got affected. But now we have very good orders for this particular quarter. So we see the huge revival, good amount of revival in these two quarters, quarter 3 and quarter 4.
Okay. And the last question, sir, on margin front, we are seeing the consistent margin improvement quarter on quarter that we are seeing. What is the cost-cutting initiative you are taking there, and any pressure from the commodity price increases in the recent time?
No, the commodity prices, we have no issues because we are hedged back to back with the customers. So there we are totally secure. And as regards the margins improving, I have said many times that historically our margins have been between 12 to 13%. And I said that we'll be crossing 11.5 and inching towards 12 because our new Karoli plant has come into about 45-50% capacity utilization. So because of that, there are huge economies of scale that we are deriving. Happy to share with all of you that the Karoli plant has been EBITDA positive. So that's getting reflected in the overall numbers. So we are very, very confident that for the full year also, we would be able to maintain this 12% EBITDA margin this year, and we'll try to further improve it next year.
Okay. That's great to hear, sir. That's it from my side, and congratulations and all the best again, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Ronak Mehta from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and congratulations on good set of numbers. So my first question is on the Karoli plant. Like you just highlighted that the capacity ramp up is at about 50% right now. How do you see the ramp up over the balance part of the year and next year? Are there any new order wins that you would want to highlight which will help this plant to ramp up further?
Yes, the ramp up will definitely happen next year. This year, it will remain at about 50-55%, but next year we expect it to go up to 70%.
Okay, and any new order wins to highlight for this?
It is such a huge plant, and because the capacity, we have only constructed 60% of it, 40% is still left. So maybe we keep on investing, and if more and more orders come, there is potential to grow there.
Okay, fair point. And are we accruing any incentive? Have we started receiving the incentive on this plant, or that is yet to come?
Incentives, we have qualified. We have got the eligibility certificate, but we'll start getting it, they'll accrue from quarter 4.
Okay, and that will be for the full year. What will be the incentive next year?
This financial year it will be only for quarter 4, and from next financial year it will be for the full year.
No, sir. The quantum for the next year?
Quantum will depend on the sales in the state. That cannot be identified at the moment, but I think even this part will substantially add to our EBITDA margins.
Okay. Just now my second question is on the PV business. So you have highlighted in the presentation about orders from Maruti, Mahindra and Mahindra, and some of the PV OEMs. Can you highlight what are the products that you will be supplying to these OEMs? What will be the content and what can be the potential revenue from these orders over the next couple of years?
No, we are totally focusing on the PV through Tier 1 suppliers, as I said, because we are into the business of very lightweighting and critical components. So we are supplying those to the very esteemed customers in the Tier 1. And I'm very happy to share that in this H1, we have grown by 26% in the revenues in the PV also.
Okay, sir. What is the revenue potential or what is the current revenue from the PV OEMs?
See, it's, in our line, it's not, nothing is abrupt. We have to continuously make effort and gradually grow in these segments, because there are other players also, so it's not a very easy road.
Okay, fair point. Thank you, sir. That's all from my side.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants that you may press star and one to ask a question. Our next question is from the line of Basudev Banerjee from CLSA. Please go ahead.
Congrats. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, Basudev.
Yeah, a couple of things. So as you just said, the incentives will start coming from Q4 and fully next fiscal. So it will be on a quarterly basis next year, or it will be lumpy as such accounted for next year?
Monthly basis.
It will be on monthly basis, as per the sales in the Rajasthan state.
Actually, Mr. Vasu, on this side, actually we have accumulated input credit. Then first that input credit will be utilized, then it will start accruing to us.
So it will be depending on if the GST incentives, as and when we are going to sell, the GST incentive is going to kind of accrue. So we're going to account for it on a monthly basis. That's it.
Surely. So largely in FY'26, it will be broadly across every quarter.
Yes.
Yes.
Very correct.
Even from Q4, we'll start effect.
Very correct.
Sure. And second thing, sir, if I recall your export quantum, which was close to what, 140, 150 crore last year?
Yes, correct.
It was
147 crore. Very correct.
Yeah. So this year, because of the slowdown, what you mentioned, this year, roughly where do you see it ending? And is that 300 crore outlook for FY'26 for exports still intact?
See, we will grow this year also in spite of very, very bad conditions. But next year, that one extra order of 75 crores will give additional push. So maybe we are in that range, almost 250 to 300 crores. Yes, we are targeting and we are making efforts to achieve that.
That's neat. Last question, sir, like two-wheeler EVs gaining precedence, Bajaj also ramping up. So you almost garnering 1/3 of your revenue from Honda. So any clue on Honda's EV launch, any timeline, and what all critical components you will be supplying? Anything on that, sir?
Aman, you answer.
So hello, Basuji. So basically in the EV segment, we have been serving the whole industry, and as you know, in EV, because of lightweighting, more and more aluminium content is there. So on the same lines, we are serving the industry. Honda has given us a tentative indication of next year of launching the EVs, but it will all depend on the industry growth. But we are fully geared up with all the products.
So Amanji, any timeline, like next year means it's almost, I thought it was expected sometime this year only.
So Basuji, no, it's next year only. And
maybe we'll be sure of the Q4. By
Yes,
Q4,
yes.
we'll be able to tell you.
Thanks.
Sure, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Jyoti Singh from Arihant Capital Markets Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and sir, congratulations on the good set of numbers.
Thank you. Thank you.
On the export side. So, is there any expectation for an increase in the coming year? Like you mentioned, that 400 odd will grow. So, like, how we are expecting that kind of growth order we have, and also because situation is not that great on the Europe side. So how we are able to manage such kind of large orders, and how we are managing overall on the export side?
No, exports, as I told you, this time it's a very tough call because the European market, they are correcting the inventories. But I have just said that we will cross last year's exports numbers. And we are confident on that. And about next year, as you said, these orders take 2 to 3 years of effort, and because the first you get the orders, then you make the samples, they are vetted, so it takes a lead time is that, but in that lead time, what has been approved, so we'll get 75 crores extra new order from a new customer. So next year, that's what I said.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And sir, what is your perspective on the recovery of the rural market for two-wheeler? Like a lot of, positiveness on there. So what's your perspective?
I am always a positive person because I feel the infrastructure spending in H1 has not been there because of the elections and other reasons. And I feel there will be a lot of spending because if you see the budget of 11 lakh crores, I think the government will be on a spending spree once they are free from this Maharashtra election. So rural sector should pick up. That's my feeling.
Thank you, sir. So just one last question on the aluminum lightweighting side. So a lot of contradictory view that is going on for the EV side. We will grow more if penetration is high in EV. So how is the demand scenario we are seeing, and what are expectations basically for the aluminum lightweighting product?
No, we see a very good scope if the EV starts going. EV is slow, as you know, till date. It has not picked up very much, but whatever it has picked up, but we have still grown 26% in the H1, in the EV, in our sales. So that's all because of lightweighting.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Joseph George from IIFL. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Congratulations on the quarter and happy Diwali to all of you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
So I just had 2 or 3 questions. So one is just a clarification. You talked about an export order with a value of about 75 crores. Just wanted to confirm this is that the annual value, and how many years of recurring revenues are we looking at?
Yes, it is an annual value. The additional order is of annual value.
Okay, and is it a recurring order for several years ahead, or is it like a one-time?
It's a recurring order, So that's why we are saying that next year we expect our revenues to be between 250 to 300 crores, if all goes well.
Understood, sir. The second question that I had was on the solar power. Could you quantify the savings that you expect? Say, I guess the benefits will start flowing in FY'26. Could you quantify the benefit that you accrue? That you expect to accrue because of this, maybe in terms of power savings, etc.
Yes, sir, we don't have any past experience on that, but the manufacturer says that you will recover the investment in 5 years.
Okay, and how much have you invested, just to refresh my memory?
45, 48 crores, something like that.
Okay, understood, sir. And the last question that I had was, you are setting up.
We will worship the sun for that, so that we get regular supply, because it is our first experience.
Sure, sir. And so the last question that I had was in relation to the alloy wheel business, because we are seeing 1 or 2 other players also setting up alloy wheels. So in that context, I just want to understand how big is the market for two-wheeler alloy wheels right now, and how, based on the orders, etc., that you have received, how confident do you feel with respect to scale up? Because it's a segment that is attracting the attention of many players like you.
See, as I just said, that the testings will take maybe 6 months. So this question will be more confidently answering in the next earnings call, Because till the time it gets tested, it gets approved, we can't say anything. But we are very confident because the person with whom we have tied up is already OEM for last many, many years in Taiwan, and then he's supplying to European market also. So what we can't imagine anything wrong with the Indian roads, I think. We feel Indian roads are also very good.
Sure, sir. And just last question related to alloy wheels is you mentioned that you're investing over 200 crores in this plant, right?
Yeah, but that's not for alloy wheels. That is in general for the die casting. It's an aluminium lightweighting section. And as I say that the machines are the same, so that can be used anywhere,
Sure, understood, sir. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. Next is a follow-up question from the line of Ronak Mehta from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity once again. Just one follow-up, sir. Any update on the JV with Hyphen Group from when the supplies will start? What would be the potential? What is the potential of the JV? Whatever you can highlight.
So Ronak, the JV formation was done and all the expected operations are expected in Q4 of FY'25. So we are all gearing up for that, and it has a potential of about 100 to 150 crores over the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay, 100 to 150 crores per annum over the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions for today, I would now hand the conference over to Mr. Kuldeep Singh Rathi from ASK Automotive for closing comments.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And on this good note of the performance of H1, I would like to reassure you all that we'll be working in the right earnest and put up all the hard work with sincerity so that we come up to the expectations of our dear investors and add value for our stakeholders. Thank you very much, and again wishing you a very, very happy and prosperous Diwali to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.